It's approaching 99. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 67 tonight. Clear skies. Mainly sunny skies tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 105. Temperatures a bit above average Wednesday and Thursday with highs near 100. Slight chance for showers Wednesday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 100 Friday, 95 Saturday, and 96 on Sunday. To recap, highs reach 99 today, lows level off around 67 tonight, a high of 105 tomorrow. Get up to the minute weather updates from the Weatherology Weather Center. I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley on this NWKS radio station. Right now, it's 66 degrees.
The Burlington Home Store has a yard work center. They're your garden center, everything you need. Home construction and repair, plus a great line of cleaning supplies and appliances for your home. Burlington Home Store, your full-service lumber yard. You'll need hand and power tools, too. They've got them. By your windows, storm doors, screens, maybe even a barbecue grill. All at your Burlington Home Store, West Burlington. And the staff knows how to help you. And they will, too, at the Burlington Home Store.
Keep your ride running at peak performance by scheduling an appointment with the Daves at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Hurl's has a full-service service department where they'll work on all makes and models, not just GM. They do tire repair and replacement. They'll make sure your AC is running at its best for these hot summer months. Plus, customers who bought a used vehicle from Hurl's get a lifetime warranty and reduced oil change prices. So get your appointment scheduled today by calling 785-890-0000. That's 890-0000 and ask for Dave. You're sure to get one of them.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery ingestion and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
We're all fired up for our fair, St. Francis, Kansas, Cheyenne County Fair. Starting Tuesday, July 30th, our fashion show and clothing construction display. Wednesday evening, we start our home-owned carnival up around 7 p.m. Then Thursday, guys, 9 o'clock a.m., the swine show, the sheep show, and the goat show, the catch-it contest. Friday, guys, 9 a.m., we have the beef and bucket calf show. We have our premium sale at 6:30. Then 8 o'clock, we have Jalen Johnston bands. That's what we got going on this year for the Cheyenne County Fair. We hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Stephanie Dole with F&B Bank. At F&B, we offer many different types of deposits accounts to help you achieve your financial goals. Whether it be personal checking or savings, business checking account, or a variety of CD options, we're here to help. Stop by our bank directly east at the post office in Goodland or call 785-890-2000 to begin working with me or another F&B Bank team member. F&B Bank, member FDIC.
Rise and shine. It's butt whipping time.
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
That broadcast school has really paid off.
And Christian Peck-Dimit.
Do you want to keep this job? Shut up, listen, learn.
The region's only local sports talk show, discussing it all from the preps to the pros.
What time is it? Game time.
Simulcasting on AM 730 Fox Sports Tri-State, streaming online at nwksradio.net and the Rockingham app.
They are everywhere.
The Blitz is presented by the Insurance Agency, the Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
Serve to shallow center. Crow Armstrong can't get there. It's in for a hit. Massey and with score. Hunter Renfro delivers again. A two-run, two-out single.
Jovic spin inside. LeBron James, perfect defense. Here comes James in transition. James, get out of his way for two.
And after night one here, Caleb Dressel is going to have 8 Olympic medals, and all of them are going to be gold. The Americans get it done again. And it's the first for Team USA in Paris.
Pitch to Tolia. He is sent down that left field line. Pretty well struck. Conforto going back. And it's gone. It just clears the fence in left field, right above that 354 sign.
Boy, it's a fly ball, left field. Hit pretty well. Andujar's back for it. He's near the wall. That's going to go. A grand slam. Taylor Ward has put the Angels on top.
They have come all the way back from 6-0 down.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. We are back here on the Morning Blitz. Broadcast, of course, on Goodland's Rocket 1025, AM 730, Fox Sports Tri-State, at least for another week here. And, of course, NWKSradio.net, any of your mobile apps, and, of course, the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. We're on with you here on this Monday, July the 29th, our final Monday of the month in the year of 2024. Hope everyone had a very nice weekend, whether it was relaxing or productive, whatever it was. I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope that you are prepared for a flash drought. I learned this was a new thing, Christian. Apparently, a flash drought is coming to our area over the next couple of days with these super hot temperatures. I would assume there's going to be a little bit of wind mixed in there as well, and that's going to result in a flash drought. So, good morning. How are we doing? How was the weekend?
It was good. This is actually the first I'm hearing of this, so that's super great. I had no idea about a flash drought, so my morning did just get a little bit worse. I don't know, not too bad of a weekend. Get this, Ross went up to Atwood to play some golf on Saturday. They're not a sponsor or anything, but we've talked about that course. It's sort of a fun and a little bit of a unique course.
Atwood Country Club, yep, nice place.
Atwood Country Club, yes. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s on that 9, sort of interesting course. Shot a 49, which is an all-time low. So,
whoa,
yeah, felt pretty darn good about that. So that's sort of the beginning and the end of our weekend highlights. What did Ross do this fine end of July weekend?
Well, we road tripped back up to the homeland in Nebraska. Spent the weekend with my folks. Spent some time there, but the main reason we went up there is my wife got me concert tickets to go see one of our favorite bands, to go see Casey Donahue. So we went and saw Casey Donahue, and while we were there, spent some time with my family. Did that, but it was a very quick trip up north and back. And now we're ready to zoom into another week, which, by the way, I don't know if this is going to be the slowest Monday in history or not, but I pulled up to the corner of Highway 24, I think Highway 27, right there at the corner at the light there in Goodland. And there was not a single car waiting. Not a single one. And I was the only vehicle that was there in what looked to be about a 3/4 to a mile radius. There was nobody at the intersection. Usually somebody's there waiting on a light or is going through. Not a single soul. It was like going through there at 2:00 in the morning. There wasn't anybody there. I was just like, that's the first time I think I've ever seen that happen in my entire life.
Well, we've only got a few more weeks here, I think, where we can call it the dog days of summer, and then you start ramping up. So hopefully everyone's getting all their dog days out. If anyone's on vacation or was on vacation lately, hopefully they enjoyed that. Concert was good. Yeah, Ross?
Oh, it was great. Casey Donahue puts on a fantastic show. If you've never gotten a chance to see him, you are a listener, and you like country music, which he's kind of a country rock guy is the way I would put it, but he's really good. He's a great entertainer. He does a great job with the fans and stuff, or with the crowd. So he was very good, very entertaining, played some great music, had a really nice time. So yes, concert was good. Really enjoyed it. So
where was it at?
It was in a town called Aurora, Nebraska, which is along the interstate on I-80. Is where I'll put it, kind of in the middle part of the country, the middle part of the state. So just to keep it very, very general for those who really don't care, and that's fine. Understandably so. Anyway, so it sounds like it was a good weekend. Christian, I went to a good concert. Christian played amazing golf, played out of his mind.
That was the problem, is I won't shoot that good for another 2 years.
So the driver must have been working then, apparently.
The driver, we've been at the range a little bit. The driver's been fixed. No, that's not true. Every time you fix one thing in the bag, something else gets broken. So that was the perfect day where everything all came together. And then the next time I go out, I won't be able to hit driver. The 5-iron was solid. That really helped. And as you know, I mean, to have a good day, you really just gotta be on with the putts, in the short game. The
flat stick was hot.
The flat stick was hot, and it is very rarely hot for Christian. So it all sort of came together with a nice 49. And of course, it was the one day that I did not record bring the tripod
Well,
out.
see, it wouldn't have fit in because isn't your title, I suck at golf or I'm the worst golfer ever, and you go
Come on.
49, that would not be good.
But I'm trying to get better. At one point I was trying to break 65, and now we're trying to break 55, and now I have.
Why you stink is because you're trying to record everything and post it on social media.
Put up
And
too
when
much
you just, when you
pressure on
just
myself.
focus on just playing the game, look what happens.
There you go.
Today's youth. Anyway, it's a Monday. We all know what that means here on the Morning Blitz.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Gonna be a winner, be a winner.
Weekend winners to get us going here on a Monday morning. You have a first weekend winner for us, Christian?
Yeah, so I figure that we both have a big winner that's probably Paris, France related. So I'm going to try and sneak in another one real quick before we get there, because I think this is sort of an interesting winner that maybe opens up a discussion of, some larger losers. But I think winners of the weekend certainly are NFL quarterbacks. What did we spend half of last week talking about was how much pressure is put on the quarterback, how quickly they are decided against, how quickly there's a lot of just pressure of the entire offense, and they're judged very quickly and all these things. But we also said that while they take the brunt of the judgment when their team does poorly, whether for better or for worse, they also take the brunt of the benefit and the praise when their team does well. Exhibit A, B, C, and all the way through the alphabet comes this weekend when we saw Tua Tagovailoa, of course, Dolphins quarterback, and Jordan Love of the Packers get absolutely massive, and I mean massive in all caps with a period, maybe even an exclamation point at the end, massive new deals this weekend. Just as the first weekend there of NFL training camp was finished up, obviously for some teams it wasn't really a full week. They didn't start till Tuesday or Wednesday. But Tua signs a 4-year, $212 million deal. And not to be outdone, Jordan Love signs a 4-year, $220 million extension. For those of you that aren't math majors at home, that's A-okay. I'm not either. I use the calculator. Tua, $53.1 million per season. Jordan Love, just a little bit more, $55 million a year. For those of you keeping track at home, that's Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, believe it or not, and now Jordan Love at $55 million a year, the highest paid quarterbacks and the highest paid players in NFL history in terms of yearly salary. And of course, Tua not far behind, just $2 million per year below them. Expectations are now, of course, ridiculous for the two, but hey, the paychecks are just as ridiculous. I think winners of the weekend, it's got to be Tua and Jordan Love, who make, the GDP of a small country now.
Yeah, this actually does open up a can of worms for me, honestly.
That was
I was
ridiculous. Talking about this.
It is ridiculous that we see this kind of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks that haven't won anything. They haven't won anything. If there's only one man playing football right now, I don't know. I'm going to say one. There's only one man that is deserving of that kind of money.
Matthew Stafford, too.
Matthew Stafford is deserving of that kind of money?
Not for much longer.
I mean, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is the only guy really deserving. Yeah, and that's fine. If you want a Super Bowl ring,
I thought you were judging based off of winning. I thought that's what
it is true, and that's what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, if you want to talk about being paid this amount of money and actually being worth that amount of money, you need to show something for it, and that at least means one Super Bowl ring. And this kind of money looks like you need to be a multi-Super Bowl champion. If you're Patrick Mahomes, you're sitting there thinking, "What in the world? I'm getting paid what?" And I'm the one waiting. I'm the best quarterback in the game right now, and I'm probably sitting, I don't know, probably 5th or 6th in pay. Which it's just ridiculous. These guys, and this is no offense. I mean, don't get me wrong. Joe Burrow probably has a little bit of an argument because he's beaten Patrick Mahomes. So I can live with that. But Tua didn't do anything against Patrick Mahomes. Neither has Justin Lawrence has done anything against Patrick Mahomes. And let's see. Jordan Love, good for Jordan Love, but this guy has one season under his belt of a full-time starter. And yes, they made the postseason. And yes, they pulled off an upset, but that is it. One season you are banking on. So the highest paid quarterback in the NFL currently, it could change later today for all we know, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL currently has one playoff win and has one season of starting under his belt. That is ridiculous. I don't care who you are. That's nuts. The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me. Amazing to me. It's a sickening part. Now, I do want to say, and you can correct me because I could be wrong, but I do want to say, isn't there something, I mean, because they're not getting as many years, does that result in that happening? Because instead of getting like a 6-year or an 8-year contract, at least in Jordan Love's case, isn't it just a 4-year deal? I think it is.
Yes. Yeah, for both of them, it's 4 years.
So a 4-year deal for Tua and for Jordan Love. Mm-hmm. So because there's less years, you can load up the money in a shorter period of time. Whereas Patrick Mahomes, when he was winning, you're like, let's sign this guy for the next, 10 years, and let's give him, a $500 million or whatever contract that's going to be. Now, of course, year by year, obviously, that's what we're kind of basing it off of in this conversation.
That's true. Yeah.
So, does it make you feel better that it's only for 4 years and they're getting paid this amount of money, or is it still sickening? That's what I want to know.
In theory, that is a great point, Ross. Is that it is fewer years, but at the same time, those 3, 4, 5-year deals are pretty average, so to speak, for longish term deals in the NFL. The Pat Mahomes 10-year deal was more. That was the outstanding, crazy deal, was getting 10 years. No one else gets deals like that. I don't think there's a quarterback starting in the NFL right now, not named Mahomes, that has a contract longer than 5 years or had a contract when it was signed that was more than 5 years. So 4 years, I don't think is out of the question. I think that was pretty normal or expected as far as the length they were going to get. I'm more worried about, Ross, you hit the nail on the head saying these guys haven't done enough to deserve the money outside of maybe Joe Burrow. But not only that, let's glance quickly ahead to the future for them. We talked about now expectations being crazy. The Packers and Jordan Love are going to be a very dangerous team, of course, but they're in a dangerous division. They've got the Lions right alongside them, not to mention the Vikings and the Bears.
The remade Bears, baby. Look out. They're coming back.
The remade Bears. That's what I'm saying. Both of them, the Vikings and the Bears, are testing out rookie quarterbacks alongside ridiculously good receiving cores and weapons. The reload at running back that the NFC North went through is still crazy. That'll be fun to watch, but that's certainly a tough division to get out of for the Packers. Tua's Dolphins, they don't just have to worry about that reloaded Bills squad anymore. It's Aaron Rodgers' Jets in there with them as well. That should seemingly pretty darn dangerous too. Let's throw Burrow and Trevor Lawrence into that conversation too. We've been talking about them, right? The Bengals are competing in maybe the most difficult division in all of football, the AFC North, with the Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers, who could just as easily, any three of them or four, including the Bengals, win or lose that division. And the Jaguars, we don't even need to mention them. They stand no chance with the Texans in their division.
Oh, I'm not going to go that far yet, but
I'm not saying I don't understand the money, because especially for, Jordan Love and Joe Burrow, they showed sort of these flashes, probably in Burrow's case more than a flash, but of brilliance, right? Flashes of brilliance, and both of them sort of put their franchises in situations where you almost have to pay them. You almost have to throw money at your young stars. Tua and Trevor Lawrence, though,
they've done just enough. They've done just enough to make you want to pay, because they have all made the playoffs. Justin Trevor Lawrence my bad. Trevor Lawrence, you are right. Justin Lawrence pitches for the Rockies. I apologize. But nonetheless, Trevor Lawrence has done a great, they've taken what was a horrible franchise and got them to the playoffs, and the Jaguars, the Dolphins. Right now, who's actually the real biggest winner of the weekend out of this whole story is Dak Prescott, because Dak is going to get absolutely paid. I
don't know. Jerry Jones is mentally unstable.
It doesn't matter. Someone's going to pay him. If it's not Jerry, someone will.
Good point.
And once again, is Dak worth it? No offense to Dak. Don't think so. I don't have anything against these guys. I don't have anything against them getting their money. I don't. It's just a sickening deal. The amount of money that we are spending on stuff is ridiculous. The amount of money. And I don't care if you get big time money and you are worth it. If you are, if you've proven it as Aaron Rodgers, if you are Patrick Mahomes, I get it. You're worth it. You're one of the best in the game. If you're just, no offense to these good gentlemen, just kind of another quarterback in the NFL, is it really worth it? But guess what? They hold the power. That's the power to the players, and they hold that power in the palm of their hands. They can do that.
I've got a cap for this real quickly. Those 4 quarterbacks that we named, because of the divisions they're in and how difficult they are, we could talk about the 4 highest paid yearly highest paid quarterbacks in the league, netting exactly 0 division titles and 0 playoff wins this year. That is not only possible, but realistic. That's the crazy part to me. And the majority of these deals, except for Burrows, take effect in 2026. Guess what how much of the salary cap it is? More than a fifth. These quarterbacks will be taking up more than a fifth of their salary cap.
Yeah,
it
is.
Wild.
But we sit here and we talk about how it's the most important position in all of sports, and so
true.
I don't know. We kind of contradict ourselves a little bit there, but it's just ridiculous. It really does make me kind of sick to see those numbers. We've talked about it before, last fall, and I know we'll talk about it again, but I'm just so much more for an incentive-based contract. I would love to make it ridiculous. Win a Super Bowl, get $10 million. Win an NFC championship, get $5 million. Make it more incentive-based. All this guaranteed money for what you might not get nothing is ridiculous. Now, once again, the salary cap continues to get bigger every single year, and that means the contracts are going to get the room for more money spent is going to be able to expand as well. It all adds up, and these are shorter deals. So once again, yes, the amount of money per year is ridiculous, but it's only 4-year deals. So yes, I get it. It all kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it is ridiculous. And I would love to see more incentive-based contracts. If you're going to get paid ridiculously, then do stuff that reserves that ridiculous pay. I would love to see that. So can I add a little sidebar to this? Because this ties right into one of my weekend winners. And so one of the weekend winners is another quarterback, but at another level of football. And that would be K-State quarterback Avery Johnson. Anybody happen to see what Avery Johnson is driving around? I even think our good friend of the show, Lincoln Cure, probably got to drive around in this vehicle. I'm not for sure.
Remember?
He did. Well, I don't know if it was that one or a different color.
I got you.
I don't know if because Avery Johnson put in a special request to Long MacArthur Ford for a lavender 2023 or 24 Corvette Stingray, brand new. And so there were pictures shown of Avery with his Corvette Stingray. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, this makes me sick. Absolutely sick. What in the world are we teaching our youth? What are we teaching them? Well, it doesn't matter. You just be here. You haven't really done much. Yes, you have won a game in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Way to go. Congratulations. You have 1 win under your belt. You've played in a few games. You deserve a Corvette Stingray. What are we teaching our youth about this with NIL? And it's not just Avery Johnson. It's everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just picking on young Avery. I don't know what he drives, but Nebraska's got a freshman quarterback who's never taken a collegiate football snap in Dylan Raiola. I'm pretty sure he's making 7 figures. 5-star quarterback. Be my guess. And I'll throw him under the bus here too. What in the world are we teaching our youth for them not having done diddly squat?
Why haven't they done diddly squat? Have they not earned this by playing so well throughout high school and for Avery
Through high
for a
school?
year
That's
of
just a
college?
different level. Just because,
Of course, it's a different level. But
because you were great in college means that you should automatically get paid the most money in the NFL or whatever when you're
That's
drafted.
how recruiting works. That's actually how it works. You get significantly better deals as a rook. That's why a lot of teams will not choose not to draft you in the 6th or 7th round and then sign you undrafted. As the draft goes on, all of you NFL fans, I'm assuming you know this, maybe Ross doesn't, the number 1 pick gets way, way, way more money.
No. You are correct. They do. You are right. But it's not like it, but they're not getting paid the $500 million or something else like Jordan Love's getting. What if Caleb Williams got a $400 million contract?
What are you going for here?
My
Is he the
point is
highest
that
paid
when
quarterback? He's probably not the highest paid
Let's
quarterback.
just use your
in college
example. Let's just
football.
use you as an example, and we don't have to throw number figures. You got hired at Rockingham at the time, now KBC. When you got hired, were you offered a ridiculous amount of money to come here?
I wish.
No, you were not. You had to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself in order to get a raise, is my point. That's how the world works. There is a starting salary, and if you're any dang good, then you get more.
Who are you mad at here? That's what I'm.
It's the system. It's the system. We're teaching people.
Who do you think paid for that car?
The boosters did.
No, it was an
Boosters and
NIL
sponsors.
deal outside of it. He went to this dealership in Salina.
Yeah,
and
he went
asked
to
for it.
the Delina. Well, he went to the. They said, "Hey, would you come here and do a commercial for us, and we'll give you a Corvette?" I mean,
He provided them value. They
that's
give him a
fine. He
car.
can provide them value. That's a ridiculous amount of value. Just the
So
same
that's
thing
not
with
for
the
you to
NFL
determine.
contract.
That's business.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. What I just would love to know. Let's say Avery Johnson goes out and has a pretty good career. Not a great career, a good career at Kansas State. I'm just going to use Avery as an example. I have nothing against Avery Johnson. Let's say you go out and you have a really good career at Avery Johnson, but you don't get drafted in the NFL. So he's got to go into insurance sales or something of that sort. You ain't keeping that vet, buddy. You ain't keeping all that stuff. That's going away. The money that you were making, that $1 million per year, it gone. You ain't making that anymore, buddy. I hope you enjoyed that 4 to 5 year ride. That's all, because you'll never see that kind of money again. That is happening, I bet, more often than you think in college athletics. Guys that don't go professional are not getting anywhere near the money they did for those 4 years in college. And they were, of course, and some of them were smart. Some of them, I'm sure, invested. Smart on them. Some of them probably blew it all. But guess what? Then you're starting over again. It's about teaching our people to start and build your way up, not give them everything so they don't know how to build up and then it's over. That's what I get sick about. I
guess I'm confused what it is particularly that you're mad about. You want them to be ramped up into this money?
I'm saying, once again, it's about that incentive-based deal. If you're going to make this kind of coin over time, like if you are going to prove it, okay, I'm a little bit more understanding that you're going to get deals like this. If you're really, really good and if you're going to be good, I understand it, that you're going to get nicer things. If you really haven't done anything yet, are you really deserving of all that? That's my point.
It's a risk you have to be willing to take as an investor, in this case, as some car dealership in Salina, because if you don't pay him that Corvette and then he goes out and becomes a Heisman candidate this year, which people are predicting that he might be. I'm not saying he's going to or not, but that's a risk you're willing to take. Is, let's say this deal never happened. Let's say this dealership, they're hemming and they're hawing and they're sitting in their press conference room and they say, no, let's not do this. We're not going to pull the trigger. We're not going to give him this money, this deal, this car. Then this year he goes out and is third in Heisman voting. And then they say, all right, he's proved himself. Let's go offer him. Now they've got to pay him 8 Corvettes and $60 grand. His value has gone up. You're making a risk assessment here where you're tying yourself to a potentially rising ship. It's a business deal. What are you mad at the business for? They're choosing to invest in the quarterback.
Ron MacArthur, and I'm not mad at Avery Johnson for taking advantage of this deal. I'm mad at just the way the rules are, because to me, it's not really teaching our youth what it really needs to be about. When you start in the world,
These kids are all taking financial literacy classes. I think that's an entirely separate conversation. In today's there are NIL classes. Literally. I'm not saying that as a guess. I'm saying that as a fact.
I'm just sitting here and saying it's this kind of crap that makes me mad about college sports, because you should really have to earn everything that you get in life. It should not just be handed to you. And the rules in college sports are now allowing it to be handed to you. That's the point that makes me sick. And I guarantee it, there will be athletes that you will read about and say, well, geez, they were doing so great in college and they got done and they haven't done anything ever since. And they're dirt poor and they're living off the government. Guess what? Because you taught them that, hey, because they were really good, they could just get whatever the hell they wanted. And then when it was all gone, it was all gone.
Yeah,
we were doing that before, and that happened before in the NFL. You know, guys would have great NFL careers and they would lose that money and be all over and be done. It's only going to start sooner at the college level with the way it's working. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you more than I'd let on. I mean, I agree with you here, Ross. I think it's a separate conversation of whether or not these businesses should choose to spend money with these kids and how much they should choose versus how they are then able or willing to spend their money. As far as I'm aware, both the leagues and college is doing a far better job of teaching these kids to be safe and smart with their money, but their choice to do whatever they want with their money is entirely a separate one from whether or not they earned it or they should have gotten that money. And yeah, I think a lot of this is based more on expectations than results, which is, I think, a separate conversation. You just have to, for a lot of these teams, make those kind of investments, or you may only win 7 games this year, and then you're going to get crapped on by your boosters, and they're going to get all pissed that you didn't spend the money to put a better roster on that field.
Yeah. No, like I said, it makes me, it's sickening to me because I think we're teaching the wrong things in life. That's my opinion. I think you need to learn how to struggle a little bit early in life so that you can be successful a little bit later on. That's just my opinion.
But if you're just great off the bat, like Avery Johnson is and can be,
we don't know this. People got to quit saying Avery Johnson is a Heisman Trophy winner. We haven't seen it yet. I was
the first one to tell you these expectations came entirely from national media, and they have no idea what they're talking about. But that doesn't mean that this kid's still not expected to be great.
It's a generality.
He's expected to be great.
Listener Jared on the FB Bank text line, he's got all kinds of comments, but his big one is, he goes, Ross, this has been going on forever. Yes, but I don't think on this kind of scale.
Yeah.
I don't think on this kind of scale, Jared.
When it's put out into the open, it's a lot easier to make deals like this, where let's say all of these, you can go behind the back doors and you can give your quarterback a job sitting desk and, big air quotes, working security at one of the academic buildings overnight. And oh, what's that? He gets paid $70 an hour? Huh. Must just be a mistake. That was the behind the closed door stuff. This is the kind of stuff that couldn't happen
the $100 handshakes and things like that.
The stuff that couldn't happen was this, like, I'm giving you a bright new.
And here's the thing, like when it got really big, like the only thing I can think of back in the old days was like in SMU, when Eric Dickerson was getting, a car and things of that sort. Guess what? That program almost got the death penalty.
Exactly.
See, it's my point. When it got out like this, it was the death penalty. Now it's just the norm. And it's, once again, my final point is, I'm not mad at the athletes. I'm not even mad at the businesses for making these decisions. I get it. And honestly, in their part, it's smart. And if you're Avery Johnson, of course you're going to take part in this. But I just don't think it teaches the youth very great stuff. Sometimes in life, you got to build your way up. It's not just all handed to you right away in life. My guess is, I don't know this for a fact, I would guess Lincoln Cure was staring at a 7-figure deal from Oregon. I would guess.
It's possible.
A 7-figure offer from Oregon. I would guess that.
You would have to assume everyone legitimately considering him through at least six figures.
Oh, at least 6. Yeah, at least 6, and I guarantee Oregon probably through 7.
Maybe.
So anyway, it just makes me sick to see that kind of stuff. Just makes me sick. But that's the world we live in. And it ties in well with your quarterback combo. Before we get to break, more winners of the weekend. You mentioned Olympics. We ought to highlight a couple of that. Going into today, the U.S. has 12 gold medals at this point. Sorry, 12 medals as an entirety, excuse me. 3 gold medals at this point in time, but they are leading the way with 12 overall medals are the United States. Caleb Dressel and the U.S. men's swimming team had a great showing in the 400-meter relay, which was really exciting to see. And oh man, how about, and a little bit more of a local tie here. How about former Northwest Tech, now of course Fort Hays Tech Northwest, John Clavel, who played here in the early years of the Northwest Tech men's basketball program, scoring for Puerto Rico. This at the Olympics. So congratulations to Clavel on scoring in the Olympics. Pretty cool to see.
Also, got to throw in on the first day of Olympic play, the women's individual foil, that's fencing. I know. I don't know why.
Love it. Big time.
The gold medal match was between a U.S. Team USA player, fencer, I don't know what that's called, and another fencer. It was U.S. versus U.S. So between Lee Kiefer and Lauren Scruggs, Lee won gold, Scruggs won silver. But to see a competition like that was pretty darn cool. USA getting everything. And I know we're leading right now in silvers and second places. Come on. That's not what the U.S. is about. We're winners, baby. Come on. Got to rack up those golds. We only got 3 right now.
Just look at the scoreboard, baby. Just look at the scoreboard. There's more medals on there than anywhere else at this point in time. So
pretty cool.
Anyway, let's get to a break. We'll come back. We'll get next weekend losers here on a Monday morning on the Morning Blitz.
Don't miss out on the anniversary sale currently happening at Vince's GM Center in Burlington. Vince's is a family-owned and operated Chevrolet and GMC dealership that has been serving the tri-state area for over 4 decades. To celebrate this milestone, Vince's is offering large discounts on both new and pre-owned inventory. With the largest selection in the tri-state area, Vince's is sure to meet your vehicle needs and your budget. Shop their entire sale at vincesgmcenter.com. Vince's GM Center on Rose Avenue in Burlington, where they've been selling cars for over 40 years and making friends for life.
It's time now for news.
The House Ag Committee says the House Speaker's early dismissal of the House for the August recess casts even more doubt on September's potential House Farm Bill floor action. David Scott says Speaker Mike Johnson's cutting short work on spending bills intended to take priority over a farm bill could now delay Farm Bill floor action past a September lapse of the 1-year extension as lawmakers struggle to keep the government open. Scott pointed to the clock at a hearing just days ago.
Time is marching on. As I pointed out in our last hearing, we're in a desperate time situation.
Legislators are under tremendous pressure from hundreds of farm and related groups who wrote lawmakers pleading for a farm bill this year, warning of logistical and political obstacles early in a new Congress. Hearing witnesses, including the American Bankers Ag and Rural Bankers Chair, Tony Hotchkiss, warned of possible dire farm conditions next year.
With rising input costs and lower commodity prices, farmers and ranchers have worked through the liquidity and working capital they built up over the past few years at a more rapid pace than anticipated and are now beginning to leverage equity through refinancing debt. This has made agricultural bankers feel like they are looking over the cliff in regards to the agricultural economy.
But even if a farm bill were passed tomorrow, American Farm Bureau's Joe Gilson says help like higher reference prices wouldn't happen right away.
The new reference prices wouldn't take effect until a year after they are passed and signed into law.
The shortened House schedule and a now delayed fiscal year 2025 USDA spending bill force new ag spending decisions into fiscal year 2026 and could once more require an extension of the outdated 2018 Farm Bill. For the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network, I'm Caitlin Walters. Introducing Certain Herbicide, the latest corn innovation from BASF. It brings powerful PPO residual chemistry into a pre through early post application thanks to novel solid encapsulation technology. Apply from pre-plant to V3 and get up to 8 weeks of residual control or suppression of 79 broadleaf and grass weed species. Don't chase weeds all through the season. Attack them before they emerge with Certain herbicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Water hemp, Palmer amaranth, and giant ragweed. Left undisturbed, they will become the most dangerous foes to corn plants. But in the early season, these weeds are at their weakest. Now is the time. A predator lurks. Certain herbicide attacks, unleashing full residual power before weeds have a chance to emerge. Pre or early post-application, they are hopeless against such effective chemistry. Certain herbicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery, ingestion, and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
It can be tempting to hit the gas pedal when you're in a hurry, but excessive speed can cost you more than time. It can take your life. In fact, speeding is a factor in almost 1/3 of all fatal crashes in Kansas. So slow down and stay safe, because speeding is a race you can't win. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities, contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Don't fight it. Tell me how you really feel.
Send your thoughts to our text line at 785-899-2222.
And I want to throw one more thing on here on that into the conversation with Avery Johnson. I'm not sitting here saying that the kid probably shouldn't get a car or something like that, but a custom lavender brand new Vet seems just a little over the top. Okay, you want to give him a brand new, Jeep Grand Cherokee or a brand new Tahoe or something like that. All right, I get it. A lavender Vet?
If they were willing to give me a Colby orange Corvette in exchange for an ad, I'd do it too.
I'm not blaming him or the people. It just is ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. In this case, Long MacArthur Ford. I'm not trying to blame anybody. It's just it makes me feel sick. Makes me feel sick. Even my wife, who is a K-State grad and fan, says that makes me sick too. It's just icky.
It's
icky.
indicative of the pro football extension that is now in the NCAA.
Ugh. I don't need another pro league. I got a pro league. I don't need another one. Don't need another one.
I know.
All right, we're on weekend winners and losers here on the Morning Blitz. Even though that last conversation could have been Ross was talking about loser stuff, it was a part of the winners. Because even though I don't like it, Avery Johnson's still a winner. That car's cool.
Oh, yeah. Man, my goodness.
So he's still
Google pictures if you haven't yet. It is a gorgeous
pretty sweet.
car.
Anyway, let's move along. It's time for weekend losers. I've got a couple of good ones. What do you have this morning on the loser side?
I've got some all right ones. Certainly a loser of the weekend, my Kent State Golden Flashes, who have started 0-6 under Coach Christian's tutelage. But I think
college football 25.
Yeah, I think a loser of this weekend was sort of a funny one. Jason Tatum, who played exactly 0 minutes. Little donut on his play sheet.
How is the face of the NBA not playing? I don't get it.
I don't know why I find that joke so funny, but I do every time. Jason Tatum, I put a little sad face in my notes with a little colon and a parentheses. Oh, Jason Tatum played 0 minutes. The Olympic group play for basketball started yesterday, and I'm sitting in a restaurant. I was sitting in El Dos watching this up on the screen, and it was Team USA versus Serbia. And Jokic and Serbia could be a loser of the weekend all on their own, because in the 9 minutes of rest he got during the game, he was outscored 29-3. That's right, 29-3. It was actually tied 81-81 during Jokic's 31 minutes on the court. But it's not so much what happened on the court, but what happened off it, or who was off it, that really caught the attention of everyone in the basketball world. The only American-born All-NBA first-team player from this past season, Mr. Tatum, played exactly 0 seconds and 0 minutes during Team USA's game against Serbia, while his teammate Drew Holiday started, and his other teammate Derek White played almost 10 minutes in the game. Got a block, looked good in his time there. But I thought it was very funny to see him and Tyrese Halliburton were the only players on the roster that didn't touch the court. That's got to sting for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Come on, it's a little funny.
I love how Steve Kerr's like, oops, I kind of forgot about it. I mean, when you play with that amount of star power, that's just.
Here's the thing: it's funny to joke about it, but if you actually want basketball analysis from me, it made sense. You played two bigs. The majority of that game, your center rotation was Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis on the court at the same time. They worked awesome together. It was super cool to see. But what does that mean? That means you have to play Tatum at the 3, because he usually plays sort of a 3/4. You put him in at small forward. Guess who that takes minutes from? LeBron James and Kevin Durant. You're starting those two over him any day of the week. Suddenly, Jason Tatum's the third string at his position. And it's really funny. I'll laugh at it every time I see that the people are posting his highlights and it's just him clapping and high-fiving teammates. Very funny. I'll laugh every time.
I wouldn't be mad if I was Jason Tatum. I don't think I would be mad. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to win a gold medal. I've already got a nice trophy. I would say Lombardi. I was going to say the O'Brien. I already got the O'Brien trophy this past year. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll sit here and sip on Gatorade and whip the towel around. It's all right for me.
If you gave me a gold medal to high-five Kevin Durant and LeBron James 10 times out of 10.
You are the perfect bench mob candidate, though. Scrawny white guy at the end of the day. You'd be perfect for that. You fit that perfectly.
Oh, that was mean, but not entirely untrue.
Uh-huh.
But the All-NBA first team from this year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Canada, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The only American-born is not even playing, not even starting, not in the rotation at all. Mm-hmm. It's a little funny.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I'm not feeling too bad for Jason Tatum. I think he'll be all right, and I'm guessing he's going to
wipe his tears.
He's going to get some minutes here and make an impact in Paris. So I'm not too worried about it. My first loser of the weekend is Colorado Rockies hitters. Have you seen the numbers on this? If you haven't, brace yourself if you're a fan of the purple. After scoring 20 runs against Boston on Wednesday, the Rockies, who were swept in a 4-game series by the Giants at Oracle Park, scored just 9 total runs in that series. They scored 20 in a single game against the Red Sox, 9 in the next 4 games against the Giants. This stat here is the unbelievable one. They were struck out 53 times over the 4-game series. By the way, that is most ever by a Giants pitcher's squad in a 4-game series. Has to be probably the most, I would say, that's got to be close to a record, I would guess.
Yeah, really.
And Colorado has now lost 12 in a row at Oracle Park, where the Giants play. That ties a Rockies record for the most consecutive losses at an opposing ballpark. Those numbers are unbelievable. They honestly are nuts.
First and foremost, the
runs thing, okay, I get it. The 53 strikeouts is ridiculous to me. 53 strikeouts over a 4-game series.
Got to be
majors.
Got to be close.
Majors at home. That's averaging 14 Pretty darn close. 13 to 14 strikeouts per game. There's 27 outs in a game.
That's a record I could break.
Probably, yes. But anyway, Rockies hitters swept by the Giants. It was not even close. It was ugly. I shouldn't even say that. They had a chance to win Sunday. They had the bases loaded in the 8th. Brendan Rodgers grounded out. They had the tying run at second in the 9th with 1 out. Couldn't get it in. So, I mean, it was somewhat competitive. But, man, 20 runs on Wednesday, just 9 for a weekend 4-game series. Not 3, 4-game series. 53 strikeouts in that entire 4-game series, and 12 consecutive losses at Oracle Park. Those are 3 very bad numbers, and the Rockies, no doubt, a loser of the weekend.
I feel bad, so I'll just leave it there. I won't pile on, but I had the Rockies as a loser of the weekend as well. And yeah, if you listen to Ross's sports report this morning, it was just like, and they did this, and they lost this many games, and they made this record, and it wasn't a good record.
I'm sorry. You want to know
it's
the
what
facts?
We call
those are the
insult
facts.
To injury. No, they were all facts. That's the worst part. You look up and you at a 4-game losing streak, and you're like, it can't have been that bad. And then you're like, oh, we got shut out. And you're like, oh, we only scored 9 runs. Oh, we struck out 53 times. Oh, and it keeps going on and on and on. Tough weekend to be a Rockies fan.
Yeah, tough one for sure. Other loser of the weekend?
You know what? I have a couple super quick ones, so I'll run through them here. Brian on the text line says, loser Olympics and mocking the Last Supper. I don't care what your religious views are. That's not one thing not to mock. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That pissed me off.
Now, once again, I'm not trying to disagree with Brian. It was not a good look, but I don't know if it was the Last Supper. There was something about
BS.
Greek, something like that. I had read.
I saw the argument backwards. I called BS.
Okay, that's fine.
We won't spend time on this show on it. Hit me on my personal socials if you care that much. Yeah, that needless to say, that pissed me off a lot. A quick little loser of the weekend, Christopher Morel, who was traded to the Rays from the Cubs in the middle of the game with the Royals. Tampa Bay gave them Isaac Paredes, so I'm not going to say it wasn't worth it. They also did give up a couple of prospects, did the Rays, but having that trade announced just in the middle of an active game, it's not like it hasn't happened before, but it's always sort of sad to see when it does. So Mr. Morel, I think a loser of the weekend there.
Yeah, part of the deal, unfortunately. That's just kind of what happens in this time of year. You see some guys get yanked off the field or not played at all because they're trade prospects, and that's just part of the deal. By the way, it wasn't a great weekend for the Royals either. They took game 1 against the Cubs on Friday, did not win a game the rest of the weekend, so they dropped a series to the Cubbies, who are surging, and I guess that's why they became buyers and not sellers, despite being 5 games below 500 here at the trade deadline. So the Royals can also thank Morel can thank the Royals for having him traded a little bit, I would guess. Part of the reason why. I got one more loser before we get to break. Anybody happen to see what happened to the Zambia women's soccer team yesterday?
No, or maybe.
The Zambia women's soccer team, who, by the way, was shut out by the Americans 3-0 earlier in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, Zambia played Australia, and they led 5-2 in this match against the Australians. Well, they ended up losing 6-5 in extra time. Can you imagine giving up 4 goals in a soccer match just like that? That's ridiculous. I couldn't find the time. I was trying to find the time. I couldn't find the time when they led 5-2. But I do want to say it was like late in the first half. And there was even one goal where it hit the goalie in the hands, went right through her hands and into the net. So that was bad for Zambia right there. To lead 5-2, to go down and lose 6-5 in extra time. Ooh, that was brutal. That's
4 unanswered goals, period, is bad. But when you're already up 3 is extra tough.
That's a little salty in the wound right there for sure. maybe some paprika or something like that in the wound. That's going to really burn. All right, that's going to do it for our losers of the weekend. We'll take a quick break, come back, and wrap things up with the walk-off next in the Blitz.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Summertime is here, and so are your local Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware stores with anything and almost everything you need for these warm days. Give your place a new look with Benjamin Moore paints. Keep your lawn looking its best with mowers, blowers, and trimmers from Craftsman, Toro, and Ego. And they still have that amazing selection of outdoor grills from Traeger and Weber, plus the popular flat-top Blackstone griddles. Find it all and much more at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Colby and Goodland, open every day but Sunday.
In recent months, some people looking for Midwest Energy on Google have reported sponsored ads pop up with different phone numbers connecting them to scammers. When online, always look closely at links and phone numbers before clicking or calling. Midwest Energy's only phone number is 1-800-222-3121. Any other number, and it's likely a scam. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
A three-run walk-off home run. A game-winning walk-off with a walk-off.
His second walk-off hit of the season.
In walk-off fashion. That baby's go.
You got anything big for the walk-off here this morning?
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler made it to Paris as of just over a day ago. Seems to be enjoying it. The newborn is as well. And that's really what the USA is all about, from convict to Olympian. What a journey. Now, he technically wasn't convicted of anything, but still funny.
Great. That's very well said. I think that's going to do it for the show today. That was very well done by Christian right there. That'll just
shout out to Instagram Reels.
Oh, that cracks me up. Doesn't the U.S. men's basketball team play South Sudan? Is that today or tomorrow?
And that's today. Ooh, that could be tomorrow. Should have had that in front of me.
Anyway, what do you expect that final score to be after only beating South Sudan by 1?
I bet you turn it on this time. And
I would bet.
Them into the woodshed.
You think
30.
it's more than 50?
No.
No?
South Sudan's still a solid team. I mean, ever play you close, you got to be solid.
Say last night I was watching some late Olympics, and of course it's all on repeat. But I was watching table tennis and badminton. I was all in on and handball, all those great sports.
Some ESPN Ocho stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Really enjoyed it. Everyone have yourself a great rest of your Monday. Once again, be a very hot week, triple digits and upper 90s expected to be. So stay cool, stay hydrated. We're back again tomorrow morning with you in 23 hours. This has been the Morning Blitz. We'll see you then.